Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another round of the Final Fantasy Randomizer tournament. We've got a little bit of a last-minute surprise here on Randomania. We weren't expecting to have this tournament race until later in the week, but it was just rescheduled, and thanks to Shailasia and Ali for being able to put things together, and Hangry on short notice. Speaking of which, I'm joined in the commentary booth by Ali. How you doing tonight?
Well, I think it would be interesting to see, especially two runners who didn't have good luck in their first two tournament matches, um, if they're able to come on the winning side for once.
Yeah, it looks like it's the battle of the unlucky players this time, and they're both running the same party composition with the Forced Red Mage going with 3 mages. So with any luck, they'll be early life or life 2, and that'll make this a much safer seed for them.
This party is all about safety. It's not necessarily the best one, the fastest one, but it will be gives you the best chance at finishing a seed.
So just waiting for the runners are ready. Looks like we're about ready to go here. So as far as your thoughts, when you have a relatively open party composition like this, what do you typically go for?
Personally, I really like the Thief. It might be because all the races that I've done, my best times were with a Thief. Whether it was forced, often it's because it was forced, but I feel like the Thief is useful often in this because you are probably going to find the tail, and I like to gamble on the red-black combo. I feel it a lot of attacking power, and you're less worried about bosses, but the danger of the downside is if you don't have life or life 2, and it can be tricky.
Yeah, we're almost ready to go here. Just waiting on some of the runners to take care of some last-minute business. So would you ever consider remaking your party if the spell selection was a little bit different, say level 1 nuke or level 1 fade?
I don't think Fade would make me change the party with what they have. Of course, if I didn't have a white mage, I would probably do that if it was in the harm slot. If it was in the ruse slot, I might think about it because I'm not sure if I'm going to get Fade as early as I would. But that's always a question if you're willing to, because it takes time, and the question is do you think the time that you're wasting by changing your party will help you finishing this? Depends.
Yeah, definitely a good question, and it always feels strange, losing the first minute to minute and a half remaking your party, but sometimes it pays off. There are definitely spells that can save you a lot of time over the long run that you just may have to pick up. So it looks like our runners are ready to go. So just waiting on chat in the stream to catch up, and we will be all set.
But the magic will be interesting. That's probably the first thing I will look. I know Zar has looked at the king before. Let's see if he'll do that tonight.
Yeah, that's an interesting move that I've seen some of the runners take is check out what the item the king has first. And I prefer to do the check after Garland. It's going to be something you do anyway. But Zar's going to get his first progression item, and it's the canoe. So at this point, he doesn't even need to do Temple of Fiends at first. But Schwartz is setting up to do that. Personally, I like... Yeah, Ice 2 is pretty good, and so is Quad X.
I think it's Quad X also.
Hey, there's that.
For the Red Mage, also. So that will be good. And 2 also.
Yeah, level 1 Fade, and that's one of the considerations. Like, maybe do you dump the Black Mage and go with a Red Mage, just so you can have 3 casts of Fade? It's a consideration.
Like having a Black Mage, because like I don't know where fast is yet, so like I really want to get fast often.
Yeah, the benefit of going with the White Mage and the Black Mage is if there are critical spells, you will get them. Maybe they're at level 8, but you will have access to them with how commonly the tail is found in these rounds.
I don't think there were many seeds that people didn't find the tail.
So it looks like Zar is on his way to Dwarf Cave, and he's going to skip out on Temple of Fiends. So we'll see if Schwartz finds anything of importance in these first 3
If the
games.
princess has the floater, that would probably hurt Zar a lot, because he'll have to do all the cycling.
Yeah, that might be the game right there. It just feels too dangerous to do this move. Like, I understand checking it to see if to get more information, but all in all, I think it's just better to run up to Garland and see what he's got in store.
Zar's mages are level 3 right now, but this fighter is already on the ground.
Crossing the credits the credits canal, which is a fun aspect. And well, he hit the bridge and now he's heading back, which is kind of curious. Got a pro ring, which is really nice to get, and oh boy, wolves with fire, and when you're only level 1 or 2, that doesn't go well. So Zar's gonna head up to Temple of Fiends, and Schwartz is gonna get from the princess.
The crown. That's interesting.
Yeah,
Would you go to kill Astos right away? You've got the spells to do it, and like he'll give you decent XP.
So I think you definitely kill Astos on the way through, just because the experience that you get from him early game is really nice. If you end up with the crown chest at the end of the game, it never feels like that experience actually matters. But on the way through, I'd be interested to see how people route this if somebody decides to do the crown chest early, or the crown quests early, on a gamble that Shipper TNT is going to be in one of those chests, or if they check for incentive items in Crescent Lake and Provoco first.
Like Provoco and Crescent Lake before, because I don't like doing the march life, which I think could be reasonable because you know that doing the crown quest by boat is not the worst thing. You don't want to do it. It's not fun.
Yeah, and without the bridge between Canaria and Provoca, they really need to go the long way around anyway if they wanted to do the crown quest. So there's no reason to not route it. I think the only interesting thing might be is if some of the runners decide to just give Ice Cave a shot, and that might depend on what magic is available at Elfland.
A divergence here. iamtheschwarz is going to kill Astos, while Zar is choosing not to.
Yeah, Zar is about out of magic, so he really does, or out of save items actually, and his fighter's dead, so he can't really afford to fight Astos and then not save.
Check what's it, black magic. Oh wow, level 3 temper and nuke.
Yeah, there you go. So early fade, early nuke, and this is going to be really, you could blast your way through a lot of the enemies up until Temple of Fiends. So this should be a quick seed magic-wise. It's just a matter of how quick will finding the progression items be. It's like an ambush from arachnids, but they don't have too much. And yeah, it looks like Zar's heading for Crescent Lake right now, and Schwartz is also headed that way. Okay, so it looks like wolves have Death Touch. And that sends Schwartz all the way back.
Oh wow, that's really bad.
So Zar jumps out to a pretty significant lead here. The lack of save items is really killing. And it's the consequence of failing to run. When you see one of these groups, you really just have to use your strongest spells and gun them down. That's what Zar did, and he made it. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out for Schwartz. He even though he had like a level 6 or 7 party, he just failed to run, and he gets to watch the credits for another time.
Watch those credits once again, wondering if he'll go back. Oh, yeah, and iamtheschwarz is going back to kill Astos again.
Yeah, I think if you're going by, it's not a bad move. You have stuff that can instantly kill him, so you might as well.
You have some spells.
So tents are $9 a piece, and heal potions are 12. So this is at least the kindest thing for not having save items. Once you get to Crescent Lake, you have no excuse for not having them. Question in chat, he didn't save in Elfland. He died 2 steps away from Elfland. So Schwartz is going to check out the level 3 shop, and he has a lot more money to play around with, so he can pick up.
Probably buy nuke now for like both of his mages.
Yeah, so he's got nuke on both of them, and I think if I was him, I would check out what's in the white magic shop and leave level 4 until I have more money, because it's very likely you won't be able to afford it. And there's Exit, which is huge. and
Mage
he's
learnable spot, so even the knight could learn it once the class changes.
yeah, that's pretty nice. Looks like he put it on the white mage so that he would get the exit charge early, and he also bought heal so he wouldn't get eaten by the exit boss.
It's an
So
unrooted boss.
the
And Zarya's buying cap and gloves here.
yeah, the important thing to note though is that Schwartz didn't get any save items, and also did not resurrect the red mage. So he is kind of playing it real risky here.
Have the loot.
So not a bad item to find. Not what you want early, but it always feels bad when the loot ends up in a treasure chest and it's the last item that you need. So getting that one out of the way early, that's not too bad.
Try to grind around Crescent Lake, hoping for maybe some peeds.
Yeah, Pete's would be ideal, but he has enough magic to really just gun down anything in the area. And, ooh, Red Mage takes a pretty nasty shot. I think he wants to have extra spell charges before going further up the river.
It'd be dicey for iamtheschwarz right now, trying to get into Crescent Lake.
Quadex is the troll though, and even though the knight is dead, it's not necessarily bad because he's got extra spell charges early on from the experience rolling into the mages. So
Two spells that you always like to have and more of, especially in early game.
yeah, and the ability of having the spell charge, extra spell charges too, means that you have more of them to play around with as you're going through a dungeon. So if you had only nuke at like level 4, you may not ever use it going through Volcano because you want to save it for the carry 2 fight. But if you have like Fate at 1 and nuke at 3, you can blow up everything on the way down to carry. And that's going to benefit you by getting both experience and reducing the danger of encounters that you've never seen before.
And Prurings are for sale also in Crescent Village. I think the main highlight for White Magics was Fog 2.
Yeah, Fog 2 is not a bad spell to have at these stat levels, but it still feels better, at least to me, to have evasion instead of extra absorb.
Cure 2 and Heal 2 are the other spells that I might consider buying, but even at that level, you're not until really the end game.
Yeah,
And I think all those 3 are runnable for the Red Wizard also.
yeah, that's a good point. I think kind of you have to ask yourself, how many times am I going to cast this over the course of the game, and how much time is it going to save? Like, I'm not going to buy Heal 2 at level 7 because I'm going to use it once, probably on the way to TOFR. But Heal 3 at level 4, yeah, I definitely want that.
Art is going to guessing seeing the pirates. We know they don't have Death Touch, so they should be free. Safe pirates checked on, and Life 2 level 1 White Magic.
Life 2 and Wall and learnable by the Knight, so this is an absolute embarrassment of riches here. And looks like he's going to pick up Zap as well, which, with Nuke and Fade probably won't see very much action, but it's always nice to have the option.
Also could be interesting. We won't see what pirates have today. Probably nothing. See the rod.
So that's interesting. Still no sign of the floater, which means... let's think about this here. Since the rest of the incentive items kind of have to land on NPCs from here on out, it's probably shipping TNT in chests.
The crown already, so they are good. Like, I'm not saying that it's going for sure to be a floater that is TNT locked, ship and TNT locked, but for now, you just know you've got a lot of chests technically that you know that could be technically open before you can check things. So you might be thinking maybe I need to go to ice early just to check if it is the floater or if it's not.
Yeah, have we seen we've seen all of the item shops already too, so it can't be a shop item, right?
I don't think I've seen something.
Did either player dip into the item shop in Provoca?
That I didn't see, so I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Toya?
I didn't catch that either, but I don't think there was the caravan item for sale. So there is one more incentive location, and that's Ice Cave. So that looks like that's where Zara is headed right now. And
Have to do it.
yeah, Schwartz is gonna cash in the crown or the crystal for the herb, just in case the crown chase is required.
I think crown lock he'll I think he'll have a certain advantage.
Yeah, it's not a bad play. You're in the neighborhood anyway, and you also have definitely a need for better equipment, so you never know if there's going to be something good in Matoya's cave. Zazar makes it down to the second floor, and Wraiths have paralysis touch and are proceeding to stun lock. Ooh, Zar manages to make it out.
No, I don't remember if Zar. I don't think Zar bought exit, so that could be an advantage for iamtheschwarz to check quickly Ice Cave.
Yeah, it looks like Schwartz is at level 10 as well, and he's going to dip into the item shop here, so we'll get a look. Yeah, no items here. So he thought about it as well. So there are no incentive items in the item shops to this point. So with the only thing really left to do, time to go to the ice cave for Schwartz as well, and we may have some high fives as they head out. Zar does have a little bit of a lead, but he's going to have to go through the ice cave twice. Schwartz can just exit out after getting the incentivized chest.
Zar going to check the mages. It's a good idea because you still don't know if the floater's there.
Yeah, at this point, you really don't want to leave any stone unturned, and it's not a bad idea to check the chests anyway. You're right there, and you're still looking for equipment. You don't have a ribbon, you don't have an endgame sword for the knight, and you don't even have any of the good armor for the knight either. So might as well just check. And those are not white dragons. Come on, Zar. The frost dragon's getting the red dragon sprite this time.
And the red giant. I mean, I'm surprised there's no flame armor behind this.
So
I know
this is interesting. It looks like Czar is gonna get a couple more levels before he proceeds. I don't know if he feels uncomfortable. This isn't a bad grind spot, but when you have the option of this versus the eye, I don't know why you wouldn't take the eye.
for XP, and usually doesn't hit too hard. I really don't like facing the dragon.
Yeah, like
Just
they're
too hard for me.
yeah, they're not bad, but they're not good, and you go through a lot of heal potions fighting them early. So, ooh, Arbone's with Trance and Cure 3, so they have a skill list and a spell list, and this would scare me enough to really just burn. Yeah, he burns his last nuke charge on this group.
Czar will be able to get out of this though, because he's already wasting a lot of spell resources, and his best weapon right now is this giant sword that he found behind the frost dragons.
So the time he's investing and the resources he's investing are not necessarily bad, because he ended up coming into Ice Cave at a lower level than Schwartz did. But I still think it would have been a better idea to save some of those resources for the eye. The other thing is he's going to have to save some resources for the trip out as well. Whereas Schwartz can just dump all of his Fade nuke charges onto the eye, and when he's done, just exit out.
Unrunnable.
The Red Mage down on Schwartz's side, but he's got life too, so not a big deal, but still a little scary.
The Frost Wolves was a frost flame shield from for Czar.
And that's actually really good to equip, and he should do that now, because
Blizzard.
if there are any nasty abilities on enemies that are fire elemental, he can that will help him out.
The eye doesn't have a lot of XP. Quadex works, and we have a floater.
Alright, so that opens up everything, and from the item distribution that we've seen early on, everything else that they need is going to be sitting on NPCs. So, looks like Czar just took a couple of eye fights, called it a day, and he's on his way out right now. We'll see if he's right next to Schwartz, so there's your high five. It's just Czar's on his way out, and Schwartz has got to check chests still. So really, for not having an early floater, things have gone very smoothly, and both parties have plenty of spells to just continue to blast through the game. So I anticipate that this could be a very, very quick seed.
The big thing was early because you didn't have a lot of items to get to Elfland, which could be a problem, but it wasn't for this time.
Yeah, the wolves were definitely scary, but they didn't seem to be too common at the beginning of the encounter table.
Zar will pick up his further shortly.
So we'll see where he heads from here. I'd like the play to go to Elfland and pick up spells first, since he doesn't have exit. He's gonna lose some time walking out all of these items, but
Agdo level 3 white magic, so he doesn't even know about that. And Sarda has the tail.
so that's nice to get before going up to Czardia Islands, because then you just make one trip. And so he saves with the... Yeah, he saved with the airship in air, and the only reason I don't like that is if you get an encounter and have to reset it, it feels kind of bad. And
Zar finds his child, the Vorpal.
yeah, he's pretty well set. The only thing he's really looking for is decent set of armor and some ribbons, and he's going to call this go mode. The interesting thing is, though, I don't think we've seen Fast yet. We've seen Temper, though, right?
It was tick level. It was level 3, I think. I'm not.
Yeah, it was in Elfland. I just I don't remember which
I
one.
don't think anybody checked level 4.
And now Zar looks like Zar's going to do the crown quests, and we'll see if he does this to completion.
Probably would want to find what is actually some quick chests, and like the crown quest is easy to do with the airship. Was able to get out quickly, and he's going to pick up his now.
Here, take this herb. So yeah, Schwartz is making the play to immediately go to Elfland and finish up his crown quest, and probably finish up his shopping as well. So first look at the Elfland chests, and never know what you'll find there. Zar going up to Czardia Islands.
The Power Gauntlet.
So he's got Power Gauntlet, he's got Vorpal, and he's pretty much all set there.
Of what iamtheschwarz thinks about the Vorpal, though. That is like really far away from. I'm not sure if he's going to get the crown chest right away, but I would check it anyways because you want to know what's level 3 and 4, and harm 4 on the white magic side. Should be available for the age also. And ice 3 and
warp was at 4. Oh geez, then you have to ask yourself, should I have just leveled so that I could have done the float trick? But with exit, it doesn't really matter.
Like, I don't really think you really want to grind to be able to get that, because often I never check those. It takes so much time to be able just to levels, and like even have the money early.
I think the only time that pays off is if you
enough money.
Yeah, if you don't have exit, I think I might consider grinding outside Crescent Lake. But for just having, what is it?
Just class change.
Yeah, for having warp. Oh, go ahead.
So there's class change, and iamtheschwarz will be picking up his tail now.
I mean, certainly Massmian would be preferable to Vorpal, but the thing is, it's a question of how comfortable are the runners finishing the game out with that sword. They have something that is definitely usable to complete the game with, and if they end up finding a couple of ribbons early, are they just going to go mode things? And that could make an interesting difference if one player is comfortable using the Vorpal and the other isn't. If one player finds Masmune and the other doesn't, is the time difference in checking extra chests gonna pay off?
Wait, because like sometimes you just don't need to check a lot of chests. But it looks like Jar had the Eagle Shield. I don't know where he picked it up. I probably missed it. Maybe it was in Czardia Islands because
Yeah, it was in Czardia Islands.
I must have missed that. Schwarz is going to the dwarves, maybe hoping for something behind the. Blows Nerik. Nerik will be show the bridge. I've seen this.
Yeah, just handed off that TNT, and Zar immediately loses 2 of his mages.
Toxic.
Yeah,
That's not good.
that's ugly. And there's Trance. That feels bad too. I think you got to throw a new charge out. So yeah, Mummy's not to be trifled with. Hey, they have heal 3 as well. Doesn't matter, but the damage is already done. Hey, there's Masmune. Alright, so all the Vorpal discussion is irrelevant.
I'm not sure for Zar, but like I think iamtheschwarz is all on Massa.
Yeah, I think for 150% stats, it's the right move. The break-even point between the two is very high. And especially when you have temper buffs as well, just getting the consistent damage versus the crits is preferable. Just the difference in damage between the two is so high. It's like 2 and some change worth of temper buffs over the top of Vorpal.
Vorpal for my red wizard in the end game, but aside from that, I don't think I would use it.
Yeah, Vorpal's not a bad play on the red wizard. I mean, you're hoping that with Nuke and Fade that he's got better stuff to do, but in a pinch it can work out. And certainly, it's a faster animation than casting either of those. So the robot has the slab, and he finds an opal shield, so some good stuff.
I could sell the opal shield to get more spells. Have warp or exit, so he'll have to get out of this. Maybe we'll see some green dragons for XP.
Well, the thing is, he has to run through the mummy tile again, and those toxic mummies could, they could spell disaster. You never know. Schwartz is gonna do his party upgrade now, and he's not even gonna pick up the Vorpal at this point. Maybe the red mage will. We'll see. So, Tail cashed in, a couple of warp charges out, and yeah, he's about cleared out Czardia Islands as well. So, all of these things that Schwartz is doing right now, he's doing just a little bit faster because he has exit. But the big time save is yet to come, and that's going to be when he does Waterfall.
Honestly, I like to put Waterfall off as late as I can. Mainly because I want some charges, but like I really like to be from those mud goals. And like if I find a lot of whiz mummies with mummies, I'll like to take that fight.
Yeah, I feel like if you've got magic that works well in there, like, and certainly the runners do right now, there's plenty of nuke and plenty of fade to go around. But if you have stuff that can kill the mud goals and stuff that can kill the like ice 3 for the nightmares, and fire 3 for the mummies, then it's a pretty good play. If you don't have the magic for it, it's better to just wait.
Unrunnable actually. But you have got Mastermind, which easily
Yeah, that'll drop a mud goal in one shot, so pretty quick to get through this. And Czar is already out of Waterfall, as we're going to have another high five here. Got some out-of-bounds bats, so truly the runners are blessed with this seed. And I feel like the bad luck between these two runners so far, it's been so bad that it overflowed, and now it's a good seed. Interesting.
It was just...
Oh, go ahead.
I think it was just maybe like at the beginning it looked like one of those seeds, but it looks like it's not going to be like that.
Yeah, of course this is going to be the seed where Chaos has double nuke, and it doesn't matter. Interesting to me though that Czar didn't check the item shop in. At least I don't think he checked the item shop in Onrak.
He checked the shop in Onrak.
Oh, okay. Did it have anything?
No, I didn't see anything, but he could have checked the. I'm trying to remember the place. The caravan that he didn't.
Yeah. Fast at 5, so he's pretty well set. And Vorpal sells for a lot of money. You may want to cash that in, Czar. Come on.
I don't think I would see Czar. Czar wouldn't sell the Vorpal. Not. I think.
You'd have to pry that out of his cold dead hands. So he has the rod already. He's in the neighborhood. He's just... It looks like he's going to go mode Earth. And we'll see how greedy he feels. There are some chests that you can pick up relatively quickly. And we'll see if that's what he ends up doing. He's gonna skip those 3 in the corner, so this looks like a go mode Earth.
I'm wondering how many chests we'll check. Maybe the 2 in the 3rd floor, the one that's really in the middle, and the one that's just behind the vampire.
Yeah, the 2 that are top middle and bottom middle of the map are pretty easy to get. So he's going to grab that one as well. I just think it's interesting that he didn't get the 3 chests. Sure, it takes a little longer step-wise, but you're also getting 3 chests. I feel like I like that a little bit better than going out of my way for the 1.
Life also, like at level 5, that is learnable for the Red Wizard also. I don't think it's something that... Oh, Black Shirt.
Yeah, so all of the good spells landing early on, and for a 3-mage party, you have everything that you could possibly want. Got Invis 2. So Schwartz cashes out the Vorpal, so the Red Wizard dreams are dead. Red Wizard's just going to be casting Fade and Nuke.
Probably. You have Fade and Nuke at decent levels, so I could see it that he can probably, at worst, use Fades to, if he's out of Fades and Nukes, I think there would be a problem.
I think it's very interesting that both of the runners have been, basically following each other the entire race. And now that the world map has opened up a little bit, there was a little bit of a divergence at the beginning, and now they're just doing the same stuff again. So we'll see if Schwartz elects to go to Earth since he's in the neighborhood.
Yeah, like, if the Vorpal, as people see, that is worth 3 times what Massa is, it's maybe because the Vorpal is actually wanted by lots of. It's probably because the merchants want really Czar tonight. That's why it's expensive.
That's what I mean. It's an autographed. It's autographed by Zara. That's why it triples its value. So Zara running into some of the encounter tiles here finds a katana. That's definitely a good one to sell. No thieves, you can have it.
I don't see what you can do with the katana tonight except sell it.
And interestingly enough, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Gonna be something, but still don't know if there are spells that you would want. But like, I think all the good spells I think you really need to beat these games have been found. So I'm going to check chess, maybe buy a couple of spells, but not much.
Yeah, the only really thing that it could help you out with is if the caravan item is max price, or your gold bracelets are close to max price too.
20,000 or so.
So Zara is making really quick progress through the seed, but he hasn't found a ribbon yet, and that feels a little bit uncomfortable. Fortunately, wall is an alertable slot for the knight, so there's at least some mitigation that you can do. But it kind of feels bad burning their damage potential casting wall,
and
in the first
especially turn. With wall being the same slot as life 2. Keep some of those life 2s in case some members of your party die.
Yeah, I feel like if you have at least one ribbon, this is an incredibly safe party the way things are stacking up right now. But the knight does have, he's got Aegis Shield, so Bane isn't as scary as it usually is. If he gets Dragon Armor at some point, that'll also be nice. And looks like Czar has had about enough of putting off the Crown Quest, and he's going to go do that right now. And Schwartz is still going to check some chests, and he finds the Dragon Armor.
Oh, wow. That's a good pickup. Armor for the knight, pretty much now. I call it, the only thing he's missing is the probing. I call it a poor man's ribbon.
And now Czar has the power gauntlet.
And the ship in the box on iamtheschwarz.
Yes, Schwartz is still full clearing. The Dragon Armor's nice, but the really good thing to find would be the ribbon, and we'll see how much he commits to this. In the meantime, Czar is just buying out the magic shops.
He's got temporary new Bane, and he'd probably pick up Exit. Thinking seeing Exit now at this level that he probably wish he had picked it up before going to Waterfall. Though.
Yeah, he's gonna feel pretty bad when he finds Warp as well, but not much he can do. He committed to this line, and really he's been clearing these dungeons fairly quickly too, so certainly is not gonna be happy about losing time in Waterfall though. But I don't think either player has done ordeals yet, so there's still some time to be saved with Warp.
iamtheschwarz going to the out of the way chest, so I think he's probably committed to full clear this floor, maybe even this dungeon.
Ah, there it is, the max price bottle at Elfland. So time to auction off some stuff to pick it up. And maybe just come back later because that's a lot of money.
Mean that the cube is in ordeals.
Yep, we've seen about everything else, so that's the only remaining option. And Czar is gonna head out and go to the volcano.
Well, it's safe. I don't think you are worried much with all the nukes and things you have.
And I like the move to go to the volcano. In fact, I kind of feel like I would have done that. Oh boy, that's some instant death right there. Czar lucky that he has, yeah, Czar's lucky that he's got life 2 on three classes because 2 of them died.
I think. Especially with Czar with his modified, but not sprites, but his modified that are different colors. I'm sometimes not used to see those colors, so I'm thinking it's that, but
So the full clear train's still rolling on for Schwartz.
one thing that's good for Schwartz is he has the money for the bottle. Not more than 75,000 already. Probably do the bottle and on rack and not have to go there on ordeals and Euphemia to get the final, not the final, well, technically it will be his final dungeon, unless he wants to do Volcano. He'll do after this.
Alright, cleans out some treasure, finds an ice sword for his trouble, and Schwartz finds the adamant, so he's got all the good stuff now, sword-wise.
He choose to go to put the adamant on his Excalibur on the knight and put a massive moon on someone else.
I don't think it would be a bad play on the way by. He is in the area doing Earth Cave right now. Just having 2 capable physical attackers is always nice, especially for like groups like this, where you just have 2 of the larger sprite enemies, and you don't want to burn a nuke charge. I think just if you dip into Dwarf Cave now and get it, it will save you enough time over the course of the run to make it worth it. So we've got simultaneous nuke victories. Schwartz takes out Lich, Czar taking out a bunch of Peds, and yep, Schwartz is gonna go get his. No, he's gonna skip Dwarf Cave, or maybe he just overshot it. Yep, he's gonna go get his shiny new sword right now.
We'll continue down and see how many chests he will check on the flow that has a lot of chests. That would be interesting because like there are chests that you will skip for here, which how I clear this. Sometimes I go left, sometimes up in the upper left, sometimes I don't. Will do.
Well, all right. Czar finds a giant pile of money in Volcano, and that alone is going to put him over the top for the bottle. Schwartz just picked that up right now, so I have to imagine his next move is ice. And kind of interesting to see that nobody's set foot in Ordeals yet.
Bracelet found here by Czar. Pick one for free because I don't think we've seen the price of gold bracelets for free. Picks up the ice armor.
All right, Oxio for Schwartz, and he's also gonna do the chime cash in since he's in the neighborhood. He's also in the neighborhood of Ordeals if he wants to do that, and that would be pretty efficient to take care of all three of those dungeons at the same time, or all three of these tasks, I should say.
You have to go to Ordeals to get a cube, and I feel they can probably finish it with all the things and nukes. Also, they can finish it quickly, and maybe they want to hunt ribbon. So there are a lot of chests there. Yeah, behind the Agama, a defense sword.
So definitely a good check. A defense sword power gauntlet on the knight, and you've got a pretty good chance of taking any fight versus a fiend one-on-one.
I don't think it has to go that way because like you have a lot of life too. That you have around from people who can cast it. Problem to just be able to stay alive, but happens if I don't know you don't find ribbons and like you get Bane or Zap first turn.
Yeah,
There's
that's
not-
what. Oh, go ahead.
Zap first turn by one fiend, you might need that defense with.
Yeah, that's what I mean with this party layout. It's less useful, but it's kind of the ultimate safety. You know, if everything that could possibly go wrong does, you've still got a knight that can stack evasion. And Schwartz makes it through the Ordeals teleporter maze pretty quickly. So, time to check the 9 or so chests in here.
Pick up from the Iamtheschwarz. I'm wondering how if he would try. No, he exits out quickly.
No, he's got to do this again. He took one step and didn't save.
Oh, just unlucky. But like at least I think he knows the teleporter, so it shouldn't take much time.
Oh, that feels awful though. And he knows that there's nothing good in the chests either, so he's he can
Should be a
go
quick
through
check.
this pretty quick, yeah. But holy cow, that's about as unlucky as it gets with an ambush crack that fells the entire party. Although, since it was an ambush of a full group of Sphinxes, it probably would have killed the entire party anyway.
That the fact that just one person went and killed everyone, that surprised me a bit. But that things happen like that. Oh. Oh, I
Yep. So now Schwartz is going to save before taking even one step, and it's a harsh lesson to learn, but that gets all of us. I mean, sometimes it's not lethal, but it's a group of 7 shadows that ambush you, and you have to wait 10 minutes as they all cast dark. But this is probably the worst outcome.
Schwartz is going. Looks like he's going to to Mirage Towers / Sky Castle.
So this is a really good place to get some experience, some easy chests to get on the first floor as well. So the the lucrative wooden staff, light axe not so bad. 404 gold not found. Oh, double wooden staff. So he finds a set of crutches in the first floor of Mirage Tower. And
Sometimes you need them.
yeah, I mean, as a confused old man, I'll take any crutch I can get. Zar's gonna stock up on Life 2 and Wall now, so all the good stuff he's gonna pick up some extras of, and see if he's headed to the armor shop to stock up on gold bracelets as well. Or yeah, I guess he thought that's where those were.
Nothing there.
Alright, so Zar's turn to run through ordeals, and a lot of chests being opened up and no ribbons being found. So I'm curious if what the number of ribbons each runner feels comfortable with.
I do at least want one.
Yeah, I definitely want one as well. It's pretty rough when you don't have a ribbon. There are a lot of things that normally aren't as scary that can just wipe you out. They have wall, which is nice, but wall is good, but doesn't do anything against an ambush. And really, that's the scariest eventuality that you have to deal with. You get ambushed by something with blaze or thunder, it's bad. I'm sorry, go ahead.
At least crack won't really be. You don't be ambushed by an enemy with crack. Cause I don't think, unless it's on the Medusa script, because Sphinx, I don't think they are in the Temple of Fiends.
Yeah, Schwartz will never see him again. I don't think Zar has seen them though, so he very well could get ambushed by them. Finds an ice shield, but he's got Aegis shield already, so he's just gonna skip it. And
Ruby, so maybe he feeds the Titan later.
Oh, come on, be a good guy. Titan looks so hungry.
Sometimes you don't want to enable him.
right, so Czar makes it out of ordeals, and Schwartz is, I don't know, looks like he was getting the business from a Catman or a Medusa group, and makes it out of there. He's getting a lot of decent encounters to wipe out for experience, though, so he's going to come out of... he's going to come out of Sky with a lot of levels and may not have to pick up very much for the rest of the game.
The only thing that is worrying me right now with this party is the lack of ribbons. Everything else, I think, is good for those party.
Alright, tries the Bane, the Blue Dragon. He's having none of it, but he does get erased by Quad X, so... We are...
enemies erased.
Oh. Don't go left, don't go right. And Schwartz is committing to full clearing now. You know that's definitely happening when somebody checks the vanilla Bane Sword chest.
Incentivize because we didn't know what chest to incentivize, and it was the Bane Sword.
Yeah, Adamant's a good option too, and the Red Mage is almost out of Fade charges at this point, so a little scary.
Levels 7 magic, that's a bit surprising, but yeah, maybe, I don't know what he's looking for. Unless we've seen it, I don't think we've seen it. I could be wrong though.
Alright, so right side coming up empty, and he finds unrunnable manticores, and yeah, he's just taking every fight as he goes through here, and he's starting to get a little light on spell charges. But the good news is he has Masmoon, he has Fade, or excuse me, he has Fast, he has Temper, so if he wants to fight Tiamat that way, that's an option for sure. And he also has the Bane Sword, so this is
you have other ways to kill Tiamat, so it's not a problem. It's just to set it up, anyways.
Yeah, it's just getting there that's worrisome because, especially like when you're low on resources, a war mech fight could just really derail you.
I think I did play. I found a ribbon sighting from Czar.
Yeah, first one, and it's in a free chest, and you have to wonder if Czar feels like that's good enough. I'm only going to check the greed chest from here on out, and if that's the case, he's going to build up quite a big lead out over Schwartz, who has opened a lot of chests and found nothing so far. And he's sinking the time into checking these chests as well.
That just checking the free chests in the Sharp Needle room, not finding anything worth. And a ribbon found by iamtheschwarz on the left side. Edge.
Hey,
using it later.
Hey, we know where the bridge is.
An old opal bracelet found by a Schwartz.
Well, that's a really nice find. The best mage armor in the game, but you gotta feel like still not having found a ribbon. That's not the big prize you're looking for. Schwartz has found basically everything else except what he's really looking for.
You could do sword chucks out of both katanas. Although he lost the other one. Surprised that he's still checking for all the chests here, because once I have like one ribbon, especially with that last party, I would feel confident to just go. Especially he's got the dragon armor, he's got the eagle shield. Not a lot that can really scare you. I mean, Zap, of course, Crack could scare you, but take a gamble and just try to see how bad Temple of Fiends is if I am the Swords.
Alright, another orb lit for Czar, and he's making pretty good time.
I think he's going to check a lot of chests here.
Alright, there's a pro cape. Again, he's finding a lot of the luxury items. The white shirt, there we go. But none of the critical to find items either. And yeah, moves that opal bracelet up, and he's got shirts sitting on the on everybody at this point.
They're just as good. The white shirt is just as good defensive in the gold bracelet.
Yeah, it is slightly worse, and I think only by a point in the evade department, but it also has the benefit of being death elemental resistant. And
flame.
Yeah, and for the black shirt is the only thing other than the ribbon that resists time. So certainly, I think the one evade penalty is worth the trade-off. Question in chat: where was the Masmune that Schwartz got it and Czar didn't? The Masmune was in the Corneria Castle treasury. So Czar has kind of been go-moding things through all of the dungeons up until this point, having seen the Vorpal already, and he's a big fan of that sword and its high crit rate, to the point where I think he would use that over the Masmune, given the option.
Sky. So now it will be a question. So I'm wondering how fast Czar will get up here. That far behind from finishing Sky.
Yeah, it's just been the time investment for checking all of those extra chests that's really bogging Schwartz down. Although Czar's levels are a little on the low side. I mean, he's at level 19. It's kind of, you would like to be at 20. And I forget when you get the fourth hit with Vorpal. I'm gonna have to double check that real quick. It looks like you get the 4th hit at 22, so that's probably the target for Czar, and I don't think he's going to hit that. He might get it during Temple of Fiends, but he's certainly not going to have it now. Not with a level 19 knight.
If he grinds Temple of Fiends to get to maybe 20...
Oh, there it is! And he's going to run from Warmech. And, well, that would have been all the experience he needed, but he's just leaving that on the table. But then again, you never know when you take a nuke in the face from Warmech. You can just ruin your entire party.
I get that, and like I don't think Zar's got he's got enough heals. That's one thing I'm looking at. Those Schwarz doesn't have a lot of heal potions, so like he'll have to stack those before entering Temple of Fiends.
Alright, Tiamat down for Schwartz, and soon to be down for Schwartz, or soon to be down for Czar as well. So that's 2 orbs in the book, but it's 2 full clears, and Czar really showing, with his routing, how much time you invest just checking extra chests between not only the time it takes to open those chests, but to get those encounters as well.
I don't know how many chests will Schwarz check if he really needs to go look, and does he really want to find the second ribbon that he feels that will tell him that he can go.
Oh, there's thunder, and it rolls over the top of his party. So before the Black Mage could even cast Temper, and it looks like he's gonna play this one safe and set up. Crushing hit from the Vorpal, 5 hits for 722, so the crit rate doing some work here.
Purple is... and Fade takes care of Tiamat, and Zara has all his raw orbs lit. Now he's got enough heals. He may be short on Pures, Cornelia, and just go straight to Temple of Fiends. Pures 9 is good enough to Czar.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if he decides to take some encounters as he goes through Temple of Fiends in order to level on the way down, but the way things are stacking up, he needs, 19 to 22 is going to take a while, and I just don't think he's going to have the resources to do that and finish Temple of Fiends.
The Schwarz is go molding this now. He's not checking the Sharknado room just behind the Sharknado room, so I think it's go mode for him also.
Yeah, Czar getting the stuffing beat out of him in this by the bad men, but manages to make it out, and Phantom is runnable, so also nice.
Nothing in the validation chest that you really want. Heal pots could be good.
Yeah, you're just looking for that second ribbon at this point. If you can fish that out there, that's pretty great.
Something you're really looking for.
Yeah, so Schwartz with his 2 ribbons, 2 ribbons, and the sheer amount of life magic available through his entire party, he feels pretty safe. About the only thing that could really derail you is just a Temple of Fiends boss with an absolutely awful spell list. But,
yeah, unless you, pretty much it's a double nuke or nuclear, something like that.
Yeah, although in Czar's case, he's still got to be worried about the Banes and the Zaps of the world as well. Those could definitely have a rude impact on his party. Crack as well.
Was Zar's knight's armor. Didn't pick up the dragon armor because it was it was behind the earth in so I don't remember what he has. So like level 3 of those spells could hurt this knight for a lot.
Yeah, that's a good point as well. The not only that, but Inferno, when you don't resist it, does just as much damage as a nuclear. So it's a pretty nasty spell.
This opens with Fire 3.
Yeah, it looks like he's just trying to conserve some charges on Lich. It doesn't feel. It feels bad using setup charges on him, just because of how much of a pushover he usually is in comparison to the rest of the fiends.
I usually, if I have Fire 3 charges, I would cast them on Lich because I don't feel that he's worth the charges, because like you really know that the places where you want to use those charges are in not in Temple of Fiends, but in the last 3-4 bosses that could be more difficult.
Yeah, it just thinking about the way the Temple of Fiends is laid out, you will never use those fire charges again, so you might as well just burn them there. It's the same way with the harm charges, because there's no undead other than the Twilight group on the air floor.
So like you're not said that's the thing. You're not really worried about this, and we'll see what Carrie has.
Yeah, so we have Schwartz going to fight Carrie as well, but it's the first Carrie, so he is about, I would say, a dungeon and a half behind Czar at this point, although go-moding Volcano is pretty quick thanks to all of the damage tiles. Oh, there's Stop. And the knight with the ribbon and the black mage with the black shirt resisting it works out pretty well.
Mighty Black Shirt. Sometimes you really need to be strong against time.
Yeah, any extra resistances that you can get are totally worth it. That's why Pro Ring's such a good item. I mean, in addition to the armor, it protects against Death Elemental, and there's a lot of that floating around. There's not as much in the way of time, but I'm not going to turn down anything that gives me resistance.
So Honorable wishes to have Grey Sharks on Czar's side. Trouble, and iamtheschwarz has beaten Carrie, and
yeah, he's
will
booking it.
probably
Go ahead.
buy heal potions though. So I don't think he's got a lot.
He may not realize that he's low on heal potions. We'll see when he goes into the menu. Yeah, he doesn't realize it. This is bad.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I like to have a lot of heal potions. 4 is I think it's too low.
Yeah, that's definitely not enough. You wanna. I've had what I feel are really nice Temple of Fiends runs, and that I've still gone through like 30 or 40 potions. So, I mean, it could work out. I'm not optimistic though, unless Schwartz is planning on leveling. Although I don't see why he would have passed up the gas dragon fights then. Yeah, I guess he just feels like he's so far behind that he can't buy heal potions, which is correct. but at the same time, you have to be able to finish the dungeon. And that makes this severely risky. He's probably going to have to abuse Life 2 refills quite a bit on the way down in order to pull this off. In the meantime, Zar has burned through 40 heal potions already.
Carry, oh, it's so unrunnable. Where's the hack before? Just before
Yeah, this is an ugly fight right now, but Zar's gonna make it, and he's actually not far off from getting that extra hit with the Vorpal, which is going to be really nice by the time he gets to Tiamat too. So Kraken with the lead-off Cure 4, and that's what you want to see. You spend an entire round setting up, and it amounts to nothing. Wow, this is a very friendly Kraken so far.
an ink to start. As the Vorpal, he probably wants something better. Better for his.
Nope,
just to
there
be
it
able
is.
to hit him. Oh, nuke.
And it looks like okay, so that hurts. Zar seems to be committing to the strategy of just I'm the only person that's going to be left is the fighter. So if he gets crit, this is pretty bad. But he doesn't. So there's the bit of nastiness there, but with a lot of life 2 charges available, not so bad.
He gets to level 22 also, that maybe that's what he was looking for, actually, to get his...
It's not something I would really count on, although that's perfect that it worked out like that for Zar, but the repeat fiends give you an annoyingly little amount of experience. It is absolutely not commensurate with the amount of effort it takes for you to punch your way through those. But of note here is that Schwartz is already on the water floor, and it looks like he's playing fast and loose with the not really healing anybody up, and gonna use the life 2 charges to pick people up after fights.
For strategy, especially he doesn't have a lot of potions.
All right, we got a tornado from Tiamat, and that the red mage, he's trying his best. It's just not working out. Right, Vorpal doing work though with a ton of power gauntlet charges behind it, and the white mage is out of life charges. So if anything nasty comes between now and chaos, he could be in some trouble.
But I think the red mage has some, and the knight also has some problem.
Yeah, I always like to balance it out so that there's at least one on all of them until it's like the very last. I have to use it the very last time. it makes your odds better of having it.
Else putting his black mage to lead the party.
Alright, so it looks like he's going full setup this round with Invis 2, so he's going to end with 3 stacks of evasion on the Knight. And, alright, so Knight's fasted, has, temper charges will be coming. And, yeah, he's in very good shape right now. Yeah, Chaos throwing ink twice, so unless there's something nastier on that ability list, this could be over quick. And make note of the amount of the gap that Schwartz has closed here. He's been ripping through Temple of Fiends and gets through the Kraken fight a lot quicker. And hey, there it is.
Okay. Alright. Able to do the final blow with this mighty Vorpal, and he finishes with an SRL time of 1 minute, 27 minutes, and 33 seconds.
Yeah, so a sub 130, pretty good, I would say, for these Swiss flags. And of note was this wasn't an early floater seed, that was buried in Ice Cave. So good routing by Czar, and a very, very nice magic selection, and he turns in a very, very solid performance. So we'll see if we can get him in for an interview. In the meantime, Schwartz is setting up here. And he's got a lot of very, very nice things to use here in the form of the Mazmune, the white shirt. And that's probably what's saving him quite a bit of time going through this Temple of Fiends. And yeah, it looks like he's gonna pull this off with nothing to speak of really in the way of healing magic. Or healing potions, rather. So that's kind of impressive.
Honestly, that was one thing I was surprised with. I mean, you had the Life 2, which is the best healing spell in the game. Cure 4 was the... That's
You saved those 4 heal potions all the way to the bottom.
That's impressive.
And it sounds like we're joined by Czar now. GG, Czar.
GG all, GG.
Yeah, it seems like the Czar and G finally turned for you in this seed with just gift wrapping you the Vorpal right there at the start.
Yeah, definitely had some better luck this run. It was smooth overall. I think the only real part that kind of irked me was the 4 unrunnable encounters on the Sea Shrine floor coming to Kraken 2. Aside from that, smooth run overall.
Yeah, Schwartz is having a little bit of a rough time with Chaos right now. I don't know if the defense sword, if that's on him right now, but he's just he's going at it right now. It's a battle to the finish, and oh no, he goes down.
Oh.
Wow, so he was right behind me. Close race again.
Yeah, he decided he felt like he was behind from the number of chests that he checked. He found a second ribbon in a lot of the luxury items, but it took him full clearing Earth and Sky to do that. So he made the decision to gamble on not purchasing heal potions before the Temple of Fiends dive and made it all the way to the bottom. And just that Bane, I think Bane got somebody through a ribbon.
Oh, that's the worst there. Poor Schwarz. I mean, my hat's off to him. GG. He must have played very well here. Let's all give it up for Schwarz, everyone.
Yeah, so it looks like he's going down again. So not forfeiting. He's going to give this another shot. So hopefully he has a little bit better luck here. Notice that in the Kraken fight that you were basically setting up, taking a long time to set up on the night. Were you just committing at that point to have Kraken, wipe the rest of your party out and then pick them back up with life 2?
Yeah, with the knight with life 2, Vorpal, Bonk, I was committed. I knew that I could revive the other party. Red Wizard had life 2, White Wizard had life 2. So that's one of the most comfortable things is when you go into TFR with a knight, put the ribbon on him, he's got life 2, he will most likely pull you through, and he did for me.
Max saying in chat that it wasn't Bane didn't get anybody through a ribbon, it was just the nuke was brutal enough to wipe out the rest of the party.
I definitely had to refrain from my usual grinding strats. I was concerned about my levels, but with Bonk and Fast, I felt, okay, we got to push. We got to gamble this.
Yeah, you played that very aggressively. I think your knight was around level 19 when you finished off Tiamat 1.
Yeah, they were lower level than I would have liked. Waterfall helped quite a bit. I went through a lot of encounters in Waterfall. I didn't have Warp or Exit yet, and that was kind of my plan going there was, okay, no Warp or Exit. I need to go to Waterfall. I pretty much know what's there. And so I decided we can take a few encounters in there, and that I think helped to get me over to the end.
Yeah, did you feel like maybe you lost a bit of time when you saw that Exit and Warp were in Elfland?
Yeah, when I saw they were there, I knew that I had lost time. I just didn't get it on my second route. I tried to be a little more efficient with my routing, especially with the crown chain. So it was at that point I said, we got to go TUFR. We got to push all the way now.
Yeah, so the aggressive play definitely worked. Schwarz was right on your heels. And when you entered Temple of Fiends, just for some perspective, he was still finishing off. He was finishing off Carrie in the volcano, so he made up quite a bit of ground, and I think some of those unrunnables and Sea Shrine certainly didn't help either. But just good execution on the Fiend fights carried you through. So GG's are.
Team Vorpal, it carried me through. It's no massa, no cheese. I put my faith in it, and again, it's never let me down.
So just for perspective, the Mazfian was in the Coneria Treasury, but you saved quite a bit of time, I think, not checking the sort of harder to get to crown chests.
Yeah, I'm certain I did. Once I found Vorpal in Titan's Tunnel, I said, okay, Fast or Bonk is going to be the next order of business, and it was. And at that point, I was pretty comfortable proceeding without any other weaponry or that nature. And then I found the defense sword. And I'm like, yep, it's go time.
Yeah, one ribbon on the way through C as well. So, and with a fair amount of wall charges, you're probably in pretty good shape.
Man, it feels good to get that monkey off my back. I've had some tough losses so far in this tournament.
Yeah, because like I thought that this was the match of the unluckies 1-2. You didn't have good luck, and like I think on iamtheschwarz, you look at his opponents for the first 3 rounds. Like those were 3 of the top 16 players on Speedruns Lives. So those are no slouches. Like he had ups, and I don't think he looked out of place.
No, it sounds like he played very well, and he actually whipped me in the entrance shuffle race the other night. So it's really not convincing that he's 0-3. He should be like, at least at 1-2 or 2-1. He has played extremely well. It's just been this terrible luck.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the good and the bad of the short, the best of one Swiss series. You can just, and like this ambush here, just depending on your encounter luck and the AI scripting, things can play out very differently for players at similar execution levels. And I know Schwartz is very new to this randomizer, but I'm very confident he's gonna be a contender if he decides to join the next tournament or league.
I'm certain of it.
I think that's the third loss, and means that you are out of the. You can't progress past the Swiss tournament, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, the third loss eliminates you, but I hope Schwartz decides to play his matches out. Certainly see him. Certainly be good to see him continue to play in the tournament and participate in the community.
The current tournament going. Well, the Swiss tournament it has like two more. Well, as this weekend, 2 more weeks, and I think after you have check. When you have Sar, probably knows the answer. In front of me right now.
Yeah, so the Swiss rounds will be finishing up. There's 2 more weeks of the Swiss rounds after the completion of this third round, and all of the players who are 3-2 get to join the play-in game, and 4-1 and 5-0 are automatically in. And just real quick, thanks to Hangry Canuck for jumping in at the last minute and doing some tracking for us. He did a great job. Thanks to Shyleza for also setting up the restream, and thanks to you, Ali, for joining in on commentary on short notice.
Yeah, no, it was no problem. I mean, Zar's doing so much work for this community that if there was something.
So we've got Schwartz on the Chaos fight now, and looks like the wall charges went off first, so dodges the Bane.
You know what's next.
Yeah, that's the scary part.
Yeah, well, Sarah's already done 2 of my matches, so I figured I owed him one.
Thanks, Angry.
But I'm off to bed. Have a good one, guys.
All right, have a good night. Ooh, out of cure 4 charges. So you kind of got to decide who those land on, and looks like he's going to throw 1 on the Knight and 1 on the Red Mage. And
That seems like the right play.
and a crushing hit from the Mazmune, and that's going to do it. Schwartz getting in just under the 140 line with a time of 139.58. So get out your GGs for Schwartz.
Looks like we won't have an interview from iamtheschwarz.
Yep. So no mic, but thanks to Schwartz on a good game, and thanks to him for finishing this out too. A little bit of a rough drop at the chaos fight, but he did yield quite a bit of time checking chests, but executed very well going through Temple of Fiends to make this a very, very close race. So GG to both the runners, and Czar, best of luck to you in the rest of the tournament.
Thanks, Edge. We all know I'm going to need it. Schwarz is saying that he will definitely be in for the league. Showed a lot of heart. It's hard not to love this guy right now. Let's give him the follow, everybody. I am the Schwarz.
Yeah, good runner, very very talented randomizer runner as well. So I have no doubt that he's going to be pretty successful in this league. Seen quite a few crossover players, Minochi coming over from the Link to the Past side, and Files as well, and they've both been very successful. So Schwartz maybe the next big thing. So any final thoughts before we wrap things up, Czar?
Big thanks to Randomania for hosting us once again at these late hours. Thanks to our Restream crew that came together, Shaileisha, Edge. Thank you to all our viewers here, Norestra, Game Boy F9, OPT Lawyer, the whole Randomania crew. Check out the Discord, everyone. Always something new, interesting, exciting going on there. Learn the randomizer, vote in the polls. We've got all kinds of content for the tournament, and we will be having an exhibition race here probably within the next 1 or 2 days. So stay tuned to the Discord for more of that. You don't want to miss those races. They're really exciting. And I'm looking forward to my next opponent. And again, my hat's off to I Am the Schwarz. Great showing in this tournament. No shame in it. And we look forward to seeing him in the league and future tournaments.
All right. Ali, any final thoughts?
Where you have all the spells, and like the only thing that you were really looking for was the ribbon, and after that it's pretty much you have to go and see, because you know it's not going to last a while. It's going to be a quick one, and I think both of the racers did a fantastic job in as they can to finish in like sub 140 I think. So that was pretty good from both runners.
All right, and just as a reminder, coming up tomorrow on Randomania, we've got at 7 p.m. Eastern, Ikbin Maya playing against Will Cleosis. At 8 p.m., we've got Tyrannex playing against you, Ali. So good luck on that. And and at 10 p.m., we've got Minochi playing against Papa Foys. So some pretty good matchups going on tomorrow. So if you enjoyed what you saw tonight, please give Randomania a follow. Please follow the runners. There's plenty more where that came from. You excited for your next match, Ali?
I haven't watched a lot